In this video, I want to show you some crazy stats. Now, going back to a few months ago, I started to do a series called RankAttack SEO System, and I had the first version of that particular system, that course, released. And then we did a 2.0, and the 2.0 was basically just a webinar where I just gave them a roadmap where we could take things further, because we had some limitations on how many keywords we could rank for by using like CTR clicks and tools like VidAttack Alpha at that time. And I discovered some ways that we could, multiply the keywords that we can rank for with the same amount of campaigns, with the same effort, just by doing a few small tweaks. And also how we can sort of maintain the longevity of the power of stuff that we could control before the real traffic comes in, even after the real traffic comes, with real traffic signals that it will create. So then I basically mapped out 3.0 version of RankAttack SEO System, and then 4.0 version of it as well. The problem is right now, I've actually automated those. They've been automated completely now, because we built 5 tools into VidAttack Alpha in the past sort of 2-3 weeks, which basically 3.0 was actually using sort of non-drop, high volume views, high retention views, but like 1,000 at a time or 2,000 at a time. Now, at that particular time, I was looking for some people who would be able to do that service for us. But what I found was, when I looked at the analytics, that it was pretty poor performance from those guys, where they were giving us like 11 seconds views and stuff like that. And some of them were even charging friends of mine like $35 to do that. And that's just crazy money for very poor performance that would probably harm your SEO if you didn't catch it on time. So here's the thing: we started to build a bunch of tools into VidAttack Alpha. One was for doing playlist views. In fact, we had 2 tools for doing playlist views. One tool for doing views on other websites where you've got your video embedded, places like medium.com, Quora.com, those kind of places. We will take that one a lot further with the new SERP attack. We will start to basically create some specific website strategies, so that we can do for Quora.com specifically, or Google My Business specifically, etc. as well. Anyway, kind of diverting there. And we had built these extra tools, and one of the tools was actually done for doing these bulk video views, because the problem that we found was not only that we were getting poor performance with the analytics, but we'd actually found one guy who was reasonably decent, where he was getting 2 minutes on average, which we could work with. It's not perfect, but we can work with it, okay? So I thought, okay, let's give that a go. Maybe if our videos about anything between 5 and 8 minutes, we would be actually okay with 2-minute view time, or 2 minutes average watch time. But then his views started to get stripped from the videos, and that's dangerous because it can damage the channel. You can maybe get your channels closed, etc. So we stopped working with him immediately. And basically now, after we had built that tool, I decided that we wanted to try and work within campaigns, swapping campaigns with multiple other people within the sort of VidAttack membership, or the VidAttack customer base. And that didn't really take off. We created the Facebook group, and I kind of left it for 2 or 3 weeks. I didn't really tell anybody about it. Then I did send a couple of emails out, and there's very, very, very poor uptake, even for people going into the Facebook group to try and do the campaign swaps. So I basically got together with my business partner, who's also the coder for our tools, and we decided we were going to build a tool called SERP attack. Now you can see this video here is about SERP attack. Okay, now the story comes to this video, especially this video. It's not about SERP attack itself on its own. It's about the crazy stats in this video that we've got in the last sort of 24 hours. Okay, because what you will see here is something very, very unique. And this actually takes us into RankAttack 5.0. So the 3.0 was really about how we could do these high volume video views with high retention. So we've kind of automated that. We can use SERP attack with the membership base. So we built SERP attack because we needed to be able to automate everything without asking people to go into a Facebook group and export their campaign file and import and just sometimes people just can't be bothered with that. Sometimes they're too shy, they just don't want to be bothered. But in a system where it can all be done for them automatically, where they go in to the web server, they set up their campaign, and then they fire up the software. The software starts to do the views, and you start doing views for other people within the same group and the same campaigns, etc. And they do yours. Everything is automated. It's really easy, and you barely feel it. You hardly know it's even happening, okay? Because we're using a desktop tool. So that takes us past the 3.0 and into the 4.0, because the 4.0 we were going to do some stuff with playlist views. I've got some great strategies with YouTube playlists that we can use, that we can automate, because I've even done some case studies where we have got 50 page one rankings for like compare car insurance kind of keywords, like compare car insurance in New York, compare car insurance in Texas, compare car insurance in Florida, in New York, etc. All page one rankings from one click of a button, from a simple little strategy that I borrowed from a guy called Mark Olson years ago. He had created this strategy, so we had kind of automated that. And the strategy works really well, still works really well with a couple of little tweaks. And the tweaks actually come with the on-page optimization stuff. So anyway, that's the 3.0 and the 4.0. We're pretty much covered with what I wanted to teach and what I wanted to show people. But we've now automated it because we've got the SERP coming. It does all of that for us. So even just telling people what it is, they probably won't even appreciate it now, because it's just a click away. And I've seen this happen many, many times before, where my very first product I ever did for the internet marketing community was a product called WordPress SEO Blueprint. Now, I actually did a 4.0 version of that, and then I changed the name to Authority Site something. I can't remember what I called it at the time. Then I decided, let's do this better. Let's just make a web application that can spit out fully optimized websites ready to add content. So where you get these kind of WordPress plugins like Fresh Start, etc., where you can have all these plugins set up so you've got an easier setup, well, they're okay, but the problem is that they don't actually have the settings done for the plugin, so it's not really saving you that much time. What I did is I basically set the WordPress sites up that it was optimized as much as we possibly could, where it's got a bunch of plugins, and the plugins got all the settings already done, and you deploy this website in 3 clicks. And even the theme settings are done. And even at that point, in your third click, it takes 3 clicks to set it up. Once is to deploy the WordPress site and add your template into the server, etc. That's the first 2 clicks. The third click is actually to deploy the SSL. So you've got HTTPS website, all in 3 clicks. It takes less than 3 or 4 minutes, and it's 90% optimized. You don't know how to optimize, you don't know how to set up Yoast SEO or Rank Math SEO plugin. Don't worry about it. I've already done it for you. It's already there set up. You're ready just to personalize that website. You're ready just to fill in the blanks and start adding your content, okay? And that's the same kind of thing as what I've done here. Now, when I did that, nobody really sort of grasped what we had done there, as far as the enormity of what we had done, first of all. And second, when it came to that course, people were saying, what about this course? And I said, actually, I've automated it. Here's some website licenses. Here's some license keys. I've automated the whole thing. The thing I was going to teach you, it's there. It's in 3 clicks. And people just didn't grasp it. They didn't understand it. We did the same thing as well. There was a rank and rent course I started to do, and I thought, this is stupid. I don't like the rank and rent stuff. I think it's really hard. And so we went and created a plugin called LocalBiz Alpha. Okay, LocalBiz Alpha would deploy tens of thousands of pages for local directory kind of pages, and have parent pages and silo structure and all that kind of stuff built into the site. And again, people still didn't quite grasp what we were doing. So that's the danger when it comes to the automation stuff, is that people don't fully understand it's exactly what you're doing sometimes. So here's what we got. Something similar happened here, because now we've got SERP that's basically covered RankAttack 3.0 and 4.0. There's no problem there, because it wasn't a paying course. It was just something I was keeping track of and making progress of. It was really as much for me as it was for other people, so that we could see the progress is what we were doing. But I've stumbled upon something that looks like 5.0. Okay, I'm not going to go too much into detail about the what. I'll give you about how it's done. I'll tell you what's happened, okay, but I can't tell you how right now, okay, because I need to do a little bit more testing, and I don't want people to screw it up by going and testing stuff and come back and saying, no, that doesn't work, because there's some nuances with this. Now, in the last 24 hours, I published this video here. This video is about SERP attack. You can see it's got 958 views already, okay. You can see the watch time is 37.1 hours, okay. Now, when we come down here, how viewers found the video, you can see other YouTube features, okay, really interesting. And you can't click through on that to find out exactly. You can see I've got 731 views from other YouTube features. Now, you would think, okay, you're using SERP attack, but I'm not. And the reason I'm not is because I don't have all these people, all these members in SERP attack yet. Okay, so it's not from SERP attack directly. It's related to SERP attack, but it's not from SERP attack directly, okay. And here you can see we've got some external views. Here you can see we've got some recommendations. We've got 22 views from recommendations. These are good. These will actually move the needle for your channel authority, for your rankings, etc. But here's what's interesting, is that we have an average percentage viewed of 24.8%. We have an average view duration of 9.26. These are not something you can buy, okay? You cannot buy. Nobody's going to sit there and do 9 minutes views on a 38-minute video for you for $5 or $10 or something that you can find on places like Fiverr.com. That's not what this is, okay? So we kind of stumbled upon RankAttack 5.0. What I will do is I need to test it a little bit further, and probably I'll do another 2 or 3 more before the end of this weekend coming up, because I need to do some other stuff in between, and these need to be kind of planned out. This strategy needs a little bit of planning, needs a couple of tweaks along the way before you can actually deploy it, and then we have something working that can be really useful for us to be able to just deploy any time that we want. In fact, the danger is that I do go and automate this, and I kind of have automated to a point, but that people just won't understand it, they won't appreciate it. So I need to be careful, and I need to, because this one is something that will come with a premium product. This will come with a product that is paid for. This will come with a product that will be of some kind of monetary value, so that they will, or we can minimize how many people are doing it, okay? Sometimes that's necessary. Going back to the playlist strategy where I got those 50 page one rankings, I actually set that funnel up to go and do a launch on Warrior Plus. And when I saw the search results, I was kind of shocked because they were really ugly. They were really messy. It was like all these playlists. Because say, for example, I had done like compare car insurance in New York, then you would find it also for Massachusetts and Ohio, all in the same page. And I thought to myself, well, if I release this and we got hundreds of thousands of people doing this all at the one time, Google's going to kill that strategy. Then that strategy is no good. So I just abandoned the launch, had to, so that we can maintain that strategy. We don't lose the strategy, because there's different ways to use it. And actually, to tell you the truth, that particular strategy there that I had done with the 50 page one rankings, I kind of knew it was going to work. I had a very good idea it was going to work, because the on-page SEO was just so strong for it. And the whole algorithm for YouTube just fitted for what we were doing there, okay? So we were fitting into that algorithm, I should say, not the other way around. And so it was more like a party trick, just to be able to grab people's attention and make people look at that product at that time. And that product is called VidCurate Alpha. In VidCurate Alpha, we can also do those playlists with that same strategy, and even better than the full automation if we do it with just partial automation, where we automate one at a time, but we actually be really careful how we choose our keywords. And how we choose our keywords is a key, and it actually fits into this strategy here, because what we are doing now is we're choosing keywords that we know have got traffic, that we know that we can get rankings for if we are positive enough with the YouTube SEO signals, okay? So that's the on-page stuff in combination with the relevancy stuff from places like playlists, in combination with the engagement signals that you get, such as average watch time and retention time. And, you know, if people are commenting, liking, sharing, all that kind of stuff, this is all engagement signals. So you can see here, I've got some likes and stuff like that. Let's see how many I've got. I don't know if I can see from here if I need to go through to the video. think I probably need to go through to the video. Let's see if I can do that. And we'll get a better idea what the state of play is. Now, these views are still happening now. They're still coming in, but this I emailed to the email list last night. So we got some engagement. We've got 2 people don't like. We've got 16 people do like. I don't know why people even bother doing don't like. I mean, seriously, why bother? But it's good. It's engagement signals. It's real stuff. It's happening. And it's basically, it's real stats that we're getting in there. So it's not a bad thing. Just, I don't understand it sometimes when people do the dislike kind of stuff. If I don't like something, I just bounce off it. I don't need to be negative about it. Anyway, so yeah, this is coming good. This is looking good. This is the 5.0. This is RankAttack SEO System 5.0. I'm 90% sure that's what we have here. And I don't say that lightly, because when we have something that's a 3.0 or a 4.0 or a 5.0, it's because there's significant differences to move the needle. It actually has to move the needle before it can move up a notch to 3.0, 4.0, 5.0. Every one that I've done so far has always moved the needle, either to get us more rankings, rank us for multiple keywords, get us faster rankings, or whatever it might be. They always move the needle. This is looking like it's going to move the needle if these stats keep up with that kind of watch time. You can see we've added another 50, 60 views. The watch time staying there on average. Okay, pretty cool stuff. So I'll tell more about it, and I'll probably do a webinar about this maybe next week or week after I've got some more information. But it will be something that we can do a lot with the SEPATAC stuff, as well as some other tools that we already have. Okay, some tools that we already have that we can use, but I might tweak some tools to make it even better, just to make it super, super simple to do. But the danger is that people just don't appreciate it at that point. So I'll probably teach the strategy first before I release any tool, rather than the other way around like I usually do. Because don't forget, I build these tools for me to use as well. And that's basically the core thing about them, is that if I'm using them, they're always going to get improved, because I'll always go to my code and say, hey, I want this and I want that, because it can make it easier to do this or to do that, to get this result or that result, or I want to test to do this, to do that. Because he's my business partner, he will go and do it for me. And then we can take it to the audience and sell it. That's basically the way that we work. And that means that we're not limited to, some features that we can only afford to get, because we don't have those limitations. But I'm not paying per hour like a lot of people are paying per hour. That means that's why we've got very big software suites. Okay, we've got very big software suites, because I'm looking at the software suite and I'm thinking, okay, this strategy as a whole, what do we need for this strategy as a whole? Whether that strategy is about doing curation on YouTube, whether that strategy is about doing on-page optimization on YouTube, or whether that strategy is all about email list building, or like Lead Blaster, for example. These are big tools. And we're building in. So, for example, Lead Blaster has got 3 different types of email list building, push notification list building, SMS marketing, sort of list building, etc. When you look at the video curation one, it's got video curation from 3 or 4 different types of playlist strategies. Okay, and plus we have social syndication in there. When you look at the video send alpha, when we did that, we had a bunch of tools all about video syndication. We released the first version of that, where it automatically created accounts in a bunch of video sharing sites like Dailymotion and places like that. And then we could syndicate our content out there. And then we took it further by adding, within just a few days, we added like Web 2.0 accounts as well. And we could embed our videos in Web 2.0. And it was all about video syndication. So that's what we do with these tools. We basically build them out for one strategy, and we take that strategy as far as we can. So if people, I often get people saying, like, how do all these tools work together? Well, they don't. They were never designed like that. You can see the tools within a one software, and even they're not designed all to work together. They're designed to give you maybe 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 different strategies around the same kind of search engine optimization tactic. So whether it's video syndication, you might have had in Video Send Alpha, for example, 7 or 8 different strategies built into that tool. They're not all designed to work together. So there's no way that all of these different tools, one for live streaming and one for video curation and one for video syndication, they were not designed to work together. They were not ever designed like that. It just doesn't work like that. We build tools for different scenarios that we might want to use at different times. And, you know, as the times move forward, we've kind of moved away from the mass backlinking stuff. We moved into the engagement signals. What we have now is SERP-ATTACK. What's coming up, SERP-ATTACK now started as a tool called Search and Click Commando back in 2014, June 2014. Then 2015, we rebuilt it completely. We called it VidAttack Alpha. It's been VidAttack Alpha for 6 or 7 years now. VidAttack Alpha will stay there as VidAttack Alpha, but what we're doing with SERP-ATTACK is able to take this even further, because with VidAttack Alpha, we can do multi-threading, but only can do one campaign at a time with multi-threading. Okay, so if I did 5 threads, I would need to have 5 campaigns for those threads to work. Okay, if I've only got one particular campaign there, it's only going to do 1 thread at a time, even if I've told it it can do 5. Okay, with SERP-ATTACK, we can go and do up to 10 threads, and it's really fast. If you've seen any of the videos or even watched this video here that we did, it is really, really, really fast. It's extraordinarily fast, because we can do 2x speed. We can do 10 threads on the one video all at one time. That's the main difference between them. And because we're using other people. So if I've got, for example, 25 squid proxies, it costs $35 a month. Okay, this is what scares people off from tools like VidAttack, because they know that they're limited with how many views you can do. And I get it. The good news is you don't need that many. That's always been the thing about the VidAttack strategy and the RankAttack SEO strategy, is that when you combine the CTR clicks with the high retention video views, and you just put one link in your description, that combination actually will start to rank whatever that link in description is on google.com. Okay, so you're getting CTR clicks from YouTube search engine, for example. It could even be from Google search engine as well, right? It's coming through, it's finding your content for whatever keyword, okay? And then it's going to watch your video for what you set it to watch. So you could say, like, watch my video for between 80 and 100%, or between 95 and 100%, whatever it might be. So it's going to do that, and it's going to randomize as much as it can between those two numbers that you gave it to randomize between. And then what happens is, whatever that link is in the description is going to start to rank for those keywords that got the CTR clicks, exactly those keywords that got the CTR clicks. So what happens then is it starts to overtake the video, but this is happening in Google search. Okay, so we are ranking web pages on Google search with YouTube video views. How crazy is that? It's absolutely crazy. This is kind of stuff that was a RankAttack SEO System 1.0. 2.0 explained how we can do it for multiple keywords at one time. 3.0 was going to be how we could sort of maintain the longevity of the kickstart, because it is just a kickstart, because when real traffic comes, then the quality of your content has to stand up. Otherwise, people are just, the real engagement signals can be people just bouncing off straight away. There's nothing we can do about that. If the content isn't good enough, it's not going to stand no matter what you do. No matter the best backlinks in the world, is not going to help it. Okay, people are bouncing off. Those engagement signals are just going to bounce you off the search results very, very quickly. Okay, so we've got right now about 4 or 5 days before we release this. I think I might even be being too over optimistic at this point. But what I will do, as far as the RankAttack 5.0, is I will try and do an initial webinar sometime next week, in the next sort of 7 to 10 days. I think it's going to be safe to do, and I can test it 3 or 4 times in between. If we have got that part done by then, if we have got that nailed down, this is really significant. This is hugely significant. This is as significant as the SERP-ATTACK stuff. Okay, this is as significant. Why? Because look at the average view time. We're getting 24.8% with almost 25% retention time, with almost 9.5 minutes average view time for a 38-minute video. Okay, now if that's a 5-minute video, it's going to be much higher, because the drop-off rate in those longer videos is always going to be high. This is actually good for longer video. Okay. And we've got something very, very significant here that we can work with, but I need to test it on shorter videos, etc. as well. So anyway, I thought I'd just do this video. It was meant to be like 5 minutes, and just record it and keep it there so that I could maybe add it into a playlist and start to do a playlist for RankAttack 5.0, because 3 and 4 has already been automated. So I'm unlikely to do too much training on that separately, as we have to do the training now for SERP-ATTACK, which covers it all. That's it. Okay, so if you're somebody's here watching, there's somebody called Andrew. Sorry, Andrew, I didn't even realize somebody was here. I was just recording this so that I would have a record of it so that we could put this in the playlist. But thank you for watching. I hope you got some good tips from this, and that's it. Okay, thanks.